What's up guys, and welcome to a new installment of KurzedBrush tutorials. I'm sorry for the delay, but I'm finally back with another video. And this time, we're painting chaos spawns for my Night Lords. For the sake of this tutorial, I have started with a base coat of Stegaton Scale Green, and here you can see me using a mixture with Stegadon Scale Green and Ulthuan Grey, about 50-50, and just dry brushing all the skin areas. And the point of this is to catch all the brighter spots on the skin to bring out the details. And we will progressively add more and more Ulthuan Grey to get a really light skin tone. And as you can see here, I have also kept one of the arms separate just to make it easier to paint. And also I've added a bit more Ulthuan Grey to the mixture, just adding more and more brightness as we go. So we'll make sure to hit the face, the shoulders, the knees, basically where we imagine the light hitting the model from above. And now we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so next up we're using Vallejo model color light gray, and this is just to do a quick base coat on all the fur and also a dry brush on the wing membranes. And we just want to get a nice base coat to all that fur, and because we're going to put some contrast paints over it to make an interesting end result. And as I said, we're also doing a dry brush on the wing membranes just to bring out the texture. And as always with dry brushing, you want to load up your brush with a bit of paint and wipe most of the excess off on a paper towel. So when you drag the brush over the details, you just catch the raised edges and details, making a really quick and easy highlight. And then we just throw a quick white dry brush on both all the fur and the wing membranes, just to give it a bit more of a highlight. And for this next step, we are using Volpus Pink, which is a contrast paint. And we want to place this where we want the shadows to be. So in the darker areas where the light doesn't reach that much. And this specifically is one of my favorite tricks with contrast paints. So you apply it to the area, and then you rinse out your brush, and then you just feather it out, so you get a more of a transition going. And then you must let this paint completely dry before you go over to the next step, which will be applying another contrast paint. So while we wait for the contrast paint to dry, we can start working a bit on the base. And this is a really quick base. I'm basically just applying a random red, mashing in some yellow to make it look a bit like lava, and a gray dry brush over the sand. I used light gray, the same color I used as a base coat for the fur. If you want a more in-depth tutorial on how I do my lava bases, I'll link it up in the top right corner. And with the base completed, we are moving over to the fur and the wing membranes again. And this time we are using Blood Angel's Red. And we want to apply this all over the areas of fur and wing membranes. And the reason I tend to use Vulpus Pink in the shadows, so to speak, is because Blood Angel's Red specifically really mingles really well with that magenta, making some really nice shading and blending with ease. And it's so satisfying to paint. And with a bit of thin down khaki from the Vallejo game color range, we're going to base coat all the bony details on the model, like nails, teeth, and the actual bones going through his arm there. That's healthy, I suppose. And we'll come back, and then I will come back with the next step. And with some Army Painter Mid Brown, we're going to apply this to all the bone details, just to add a bit of shading and some depth. And apparently to the ears as well. But after this, we'll move on to the next step. And we're also throwing a quick base coat on the stone slab, or piece of grave, or whatever that is. And we're just using a random gray. We're starting to get to the end of this video. And here we're just applying some basilicanum gray to the stone, just to give it some shading. And making it a bit more interesting. And with warp lightning straight into the eye, which I apparently painted white at some point, and due to the mysterious powers of Sinch not capturing a wash of Coelia green shade, the model looks like this. And there you have it, guys. My finished Chaos Spawn for my Night Lord's army. As always, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And there are loads more content coming soon. as I got the Age of Darkness box set, I will create loads more tutorials for you guys. And with that said, share the video, comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. This is KurzedBrush, signing off.